Welcome to an Achieving Science video. This video is going to look at biotechnology. What are some of the issues with a growing human population? Can you think of any? One issue is about food supply and ensuring that there is sufficient food to meet the growing demand with a growing population. This is where modern biotechnology can be used. One way is that we can produce mycoprotein. This means that it contains protein and fungi. It is used as a meat substitute that is high in protein, so it can be used by people who are vegetarian as a meat alternative. It is produced using the fungus Fusarium in large vats, where the food source is glucose syrup, and the conditions are highly controlled to ensure that this product is safe for human consumption. Let's have a look a bit more at what's happening inside the vat. Other conditions such as oxygen levels, temperature, pH all need to be controlled to ensure that it is safe. Put into the vat is the food source, the glucose syrup, oxygen, so that therefore aerobic respiration occurs throughout. Minerals are added and also nitrogen in the form of ammonia. Finally, once the mycoprotein has been produced, it is harvested, purified and dried. Some of it might be further treated with the addition of flavourings to make it more appealing and attractive. Another use of biotechnology is to produce human insulin. With a growing population, there is more instances of diabetes type 1. Therefore, more insulin is required. Genetic engineering can be used to produce or change an organism to get the required characteristics that we want to see. We use therefore genetic engineering to produce large quantities of insulin to treat diabetes. The main steps are then that first of all we use restriction enzymes to cut a small piece of DNA, the insulin gene, from one organism. This is then inserted into a bacterium. First of all, we need to remove and cut open a plasmid of a bacterium, again using an enzyme. We use ligase enzymes then to join the insulin gene to the plasmid. We then allow the bacteria to grow inside a vat under controlled conditions. As it grows and reproduces, it produces insulin. Another use is for GM crops. This is where crops are genetically modified to give certain characteristics. The ones that are most appealing maybe help to sell the food. Advantages. Insulin that is produced via this method is very pure. It can be made in batches to meet demand. GM crops can have a higher growth rate. Plants can be produced that produce their own pesticides, so they don't need to be sprayed. Foods can last longer in supermarkets. Crops can also be designed to grow in hot, dry conditions, therefore help to reduce the problems with world hunger. Disadvantages include, while GM is a very new science, unknown science. We do not know the long-term effects that some of these GM additions and changes can have upon humans, upon wildlife. And there is also the risk that these GM genes can actually mix with non-GM genes through cross-pollination. Is it right or wrong? Should we be doing it? But it's a very controversial topic, and you need to give reasons of why you think it is right and why you think it is wrong.